evening. I'd like to call to order the City Council meeting for the City of Highland Park, Illinois, Monday, November 24th, 2025. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Center.
Present.
Councilmember Bruckman.
Here.
Councilmember Ross.
Here.
Councilmember Tapia.
Present.
Councilmember Littlewer.
Here.
Councilmember Bloomberg.
Here.
Mayor Rotering.
Here, we have a quorum. Everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of the City Council held October 30, 2025, and the minutes of the regular City Council meeting held November 10th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we'll do the closed minutes in closed session. Nope, we can do them now? All right, motion to approve the closed session minutes for the regular meeting of the City Council, November 10th, 2025.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And those minutes as well are approved. May I have a motion to approve the warrant list?
So moved. Second.
Any comments or questions from my colleagues? None?
No.
Will the clerk please call the vote on the warrant list?
Councilmember Center.
Aye.
Councilmember Bruckman.
Aye.
Councilmember Ross.
Aye.
Councilmember Tapia.
Aye.
Councilmember Littlewer.
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomberg.
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays. The warrant list is approved. The next item is the report of the mayor. Before we continue with our business this evening, please join us in honoring the memory of Cultural Arts Advisory Group Chair Dr. Gerald Eisenberg, a longtime Highland Park resident, dedicated physician, and champion of the arts who passed away earlier this month. Under Dr. Eisenberg's leadership, the group expanded programmatic offerings and fostered new opportunities for CAAG volunteers to engage with the arts. May his memory be for a blessing. We have no appointments this evening. We have one proclamation this evening recognizing Native American Heritage Month. Since 1990, the month of November has served as an opportunity to honor the contributions of Native people in all sectors and celebrate the diverse languages, cultures, and achievements of Native Americans. I will read that proclamation. Whereas during the month of November, the City of Highland Park recognizes the first people of this land and the invaluable contributions of Native peoples that have shaped both our country and our community. Whereas Highland Park further recognizes that the land upon which the present city of Highland Park is situated belonged originally to the Potawatomi, and they used the land for hunting and trade routes. The Potawatomi are part of the Council of the Three Fires Alliance with the Odawa or Ottawa and Ojibwe or Chippewa nations. And whereas the state of Illinois is named after Illinois, a confederation of tribes that included the Potawatomi and others like the Peoria, the Kaskaskia, and the Cahokia. Other Native groups and ancestral ties to the region include the Miami, the Ho-Chunk or Winnebago, the Menominee, Sac, and Fox. And whereas Native communities have passed down rich cultures, knowledge, traditions, and way of life, but throughout our history, Native peoples' cultures, identities, and governments were not always seen as part of this nation, but as a threat to it. And whereas Native people were pressured to assimilate, banned from practicing their traditions and sacred ceremonies, and forced from their homes and ancestral homelands. This violence and devastation cost countless lives, tore families apart, and caused lasting damage to tribal communities and institutions. And whereas despite centuries of violence and oppression, Native peoples remain resilient and proud. Today, Native Americans are essential to the fabric of the United States. They serve in the United States Armed Forces at higher rates than any other ethnic group. They continue to steward so many of our great lands. Their contributions to science, humanities, arts, public service, and more have brought prosperity to all of us. Their diverse cultures and communities continue to thrive and lead us forward. Now, therefore, I, Nancy Rotering, Mayor of the City of Highland Park and the City of Council of the City of Highland Park, do hereby proclaim the month of November as Native American Heritage Month and encourage all residents to learn more about the heritage and contributions of Native Americans. A great place to start is at the Highland Park Public Library, which offers a display of books for all ages in the main lobby honoring Native American Heritage Month. And I'm delighted to welcome Ashby Beasley to the podium to accept the proclamation and to share more information about the outstanding program she has partnered with local businesses to present during Native American Heritage Month. Welcome.
Esquali is the Hopi word for thank you. It is a profound honor to accept this proclamation recognizing November as Native American Heritage Month. My son and I are Hopi, and we are from a village called Sapalavi and Second Mesa. This month is more than a celebration. It is a recognition of our survival, our sovereignty, and our continued presence on the lands our ancestors protected for thousands upon thousands of years. Too often, Native voices, especially the voices of Native women, have been pushed to the margins of the very stories that began with us. Today, through this proclamation, we affirm that our histories matter, our cultures matter, and our futures matter. Let this proclamation be more than symbolic. Let it be an ongoing commitment to learn, to listen, and to uplift Native voices, not only in November, but in every month that follows. This month, we have several events this week, starting tomorrow with a book launch. Gail from Secret World Books is here, and she is hosting Julian Noisecat's book launch, and then she's also doing a Native Story Hour for kids. The movie theater is screening some Native movies, and there will be a Native market on Sunday at Wayfarer Theaters, and I'll leave some flyers. And now, in gratitude and in honor of the Highland Park City and community, I would like to offer an honor song.
Thank you so much. And it was wonderful to see you and your colleagues at Indian Trail earlier last week. Thank you very much for bringing so much beauty and brightness and importance to the community. Deeply appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Ashby. Much appreciated your initiative. Thanks to the Highland Park Businesses Secret World Books and Wayfarer Theaters and K-Solo Vintage for partnering together on these educational and meaningful programs. And the Highland Park Library, again, with its amazing book display and resources for readers of all ages who are interested in learning more about Native American history and culture. Thank you. Thank you so much. Continuing with our agenda, we want to take time to recognize the recent grand reopening of the Highland Park Senior Center and the Moraine events, which we celebrated on Friday, November 14th with a community-wide open house. Many thanks to everyone who was able to join us, especially the Highland Park Senior Center members, instructors, and volunteers who work alongside our outstanding senior services team to provide rich programming and meaningful engagement for our seniors as they age in place as vital members of our community. This project began a dozen or so years ago and entailed a significant investment as part of our 10-year capital plan to modernize the old Highland Park Country Club facility and create flexible, dynamic programming spaces for our always expanding senior services activities, as well as a really beautiful space for private events like weddings and b'nai mitzvahs. This space is poised to serve the community well for many years with technology and accessibility upgrades and sleek modern design. We're very proud of this incredible achievement and grateful to everybody who played a role in this project and those who joined us on Friday. Very appreciative of our elected officials at all levels who are champions for senior services, including Congressman Brad Schneider, State Senator Julie Morrison, State Representative Bob Morgan, our council members, past and present. Thank you also to our incredible professional staff who guided this project through years of planning and construction, serving seniors and community members throughout with exceptional care and dedication. Especially, I'm shouting out to you people, City Manager Gita Newkirk, Assistant City Manager and Project Manager Aaron Jason, Senior Services Manager Laura Fry, IT Manager Adam Levenstein, Facilities Supervisor Tony Ferrari, Senior Services Program Coordinator Christina Earl, Multimedia Specialist Vic Walter, Social Services Specialist Rachel Trebaris, Administrative and Customer Service Specialist Nicolette Anacini, Senior Services Support Staff Miguel Rangel Martinez, and Communications Manager Amanda Bennett, and our Community Development staff under the leadership of Director Joel Fontaine. Thank you all. This began with a group of community members, seniors, including some who are now in our hearts and no longer with us here, and we deeply appreciate their commitment and their volunteerism as we move forward and provide this great facility for everybody. So congratulations. Thank you. Is there any business from the council? No. City Manager, will you please provide the staff report?
Great, yes,
Thank
thank you, Mayor. We have 19 items on the omnibus agenda. All have detailed staff reports and are recommended for approval. Just want to give a highlights to a few of them. Item number 4 is the ordinance regarding motor-driven vehicles, specifically e-bicycles and e-motos. This topic was discussed last at October 20th Committee of the Whole meeting. And so the ordinance that is actually before you, not necessarily in the packet, reflects the policy direction from the council. Briefly, it permits class 1, 2, and 3 bicycles where bicycles are permitted in the community. We've waived the driver's license requirement for individuals 16 years of age to operate a motor-driven vehicle. It defines and prohibits e-motos, except they are permitted on public streets with Illinois registration, driver's license, and insurance. The ordinance this afternoon was made more clear to prohibit low-speed electric bicycles on sidewalks. And then we also have identified that they are permitted on the Skokie Valley Bike Path and the McGlory Bike Path, notwithstanding Section 75 of our municipal code. So there's an ordinance on the agenda. So if you support that, that would be recommended to be approved as amended, and those changes are highlighted. Items number 5 through 8 relate to the approval of the fiscal year 2026 budget. We started the budget process in the spring, as the council knows, with a kickoff workshop that lasts for about 5-6 hours. We have public updates and workshops that are held throughout the year. The budget is balanced. It includes a 10-year CIP, which is likewise balanced and reflects the city's mission, values, and priorities. Want to thank the mayor and city council for your policy feedback throughout the year as part of this important policy document. Our senior staff and all the staff that are involved in the budget development and management process, and then specific thanks to our finance director, Christine McCallum, as well as deputy finance director, Laura Lukasik. Our budget is on our website, as well as all the budget reports that we've submitted, so encourage individuals to review it. I think it is a very good read. It's comprehensive and certainly reflects all of our policies and priorities. And then on a monthly basis, we also post monthly financial reports, likewise to our website, so encourage individuals to review all that good information. And then last on omnibus, just highlights of item number 10 is an agreement with IDOT for sidewalk and bridge projects. The city receives grant funding for these projects, and this standard agreement is required by IDOT as it pertains to acquisition of temporary easements supporting all those projects that are listed on the agenda. So that is recommended for approval. And then on a separate topic, we only have one committee of the whole and city council meeting in December. That'll be December 15th. And that'll conclude our formal meetings for the year.
Great, thank you, City Manager Newkirk. Assistant to the City Manager Pelvis, whoops, yep,
Can I ask her a question about what you presented?
yeah.
Yeah. On the e-bikes, which I support, but I'm just, from a procedure perspective, you know, that notwithstanding what's in this code, why not remove it from the code so that we don't have this awkward notwithstanding?
So I think we're going to get to that in the
We're in
omnibus
discussion.
portion, and we're going to pull that item.
gonna pull
and
it.
That would be a great time to have that conversation.
Okay.
If you don't mind. Thank you, appreciate it.
And Mayor, if that item is pulled, if there are questions on the fee resolution, then I would suggest also pulling the fee resolution because there is a new price or fee for e-motos and e-bikes. But if you support the fee, then you can include the AFR.
You have a question?
On the fee resolution, so if we want to
Right,
loop
so
that in
we'll
part of the
pull
discussion,
four
that's
and
totally
six,
fine.
but we are
Yeah,
not quite to that point.
no problem.
Yeah, thanks very much, everybody. We'll get back to our agenda as stated. Assistant to the City Manager Palbinska, would you please introduce the next item, which is business from the public?
Thank you, Mayor. The next item on the agenda is business from the public. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the City Council on a topic that is within the City Council's purview and jurisdiction, but is not listed in another location on the agenda. If you would like to speak about a matter that is listed on the agenda, we ask that you wait until that agenda item is called, and we will give you an opportunity to speak then. If your matter is on the omnibus consent agenda, please let us know if you would like us to remove that matter from the consolidated list so that you can speak about it. Please be aware that business from the public is not intended to be a forum for open dialogue or engagement with members of the City Council. Rather, it is intended as an opportunity to make comments to the City Council. Please do not expect a response from anyone tonight. If appropriate, questions may be directed to the city manager or other city staff. All comments should be directed to the City Council. All speakers will be limited to 3 minutes. We request that speakers refrain from throwing objects or using noisemakers, and that the public not applaud or make other comments after any speaker. We ask that everyone be respectful, civil, and non-repetitive.
Great, thank you. And with that, I'll ask, is there any member of the public who wishes to be heard tonight on an item not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll continue on with our omnibus agenda, items 1 through,
3.
I'm sorry, items 1 through 19 have been grouped together for omnibus consideration. I've had requests to pull items 4 and 6, so I'm seeking a motion to approve items 1 through 3, item 5, 7 through 19.
So, second.
Any comments or questions on those items? Any from the public? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the vote?
Councilmember Center.
Aye.
Councilmember Bruckman.
Aye.
Councilmember Ross.
Aye.
Councilmember Tapia.
Aye.
Councilmember Littlewer.
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomberg.
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays. Items 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7 through 19 have been approved. Item 4 is an ordinance amending section 71.360 of the Highland Park Code of 1968 as amended regarding motor-driven vehicles. Councilmember Littlewer, I will call on you first.
Thank you very much, Mayor. First of all, I want to really thank staff, especially our legal team and the city manager, for updating this ordinance because it really is much clearer. There was a question by several of us in reading it whether, in fact, the e-bikes could be ridden on sidewalks, even though state law does not permit it. So we just wanted to make sure that that was in the body of it. I do have one other question that I realized I didn't see in here. I know that there was mention of penalties for violating this or riding, for example, an e-bike on the sidewalk or a moto type or scooter in an area where they're not permitted. And we had increased it. So I was wondering if that has been added to penalties.
Yes.
Because I just wanted to make sure on the record we discussed that. And then I have one other comment.
Okay.
Yes. Mayor, I can answer the question
Yes,
if you
please.
like. So in the annual fee resolution, which was also pulled from the agenda, if you look under the code section 71.999, so violations of section 71.360 relating to non-e-motorcycles.
Right.
For 26 would carry a fee of a range $100 to $500. And then violations of that same section relating to e-motos would be not less than 1,000. So that's what we talked about at the committee of the whole meeting.
Great, thank you for the clarification. I just wanted to make sure that anybody who's either watching or who'd been involved with this, because we had a lot of people come to these, understand that the clarifications have been made and that the ordinance is reflected. I will say, I really thank everyone for all the work they've put in. I actually still have a problem with having the e-bikes, even 1, 2, and 3, on the local, like the Green Bay Trail. I think it's too narrow. I will not be voting in favor. I really respect and I appreciate all the work that's been done because it's gotten as close as I could get to supporting it, but I will be voting no because of that one detail.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember Tapia, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Well, so back to my notwithstanding question. Just procedurally, why can't we just eliminate it and not have that awkward?
So it's a good question. The issue of the sidewalks was something that I know that the council received some communication on it. We looked at that today and decided it was easier to clear that up. There's also a reference in the updated language to a provision of Chapter 75 of the city code. And it's one that I don't think any of us realized was there. We found it this afternoon, quite candidly. It's specific to the Skokie and McClory trails. The agenda released for today identified this item specifically as amending section 71.360 of the city code. Under the Open Meetings Act, that's what we are limited in doing. So rather than not do anything at all, this provision makes it clear, and I think under any rule of statutory construction, this would control over the older provision in Chapter 75. So we'll clean that up in the future, Councilmember Tapia. It's just good hygiene to do so, but in the interest of getting something through, we want to get this language as enforceable as possible within the Open Meetings Act.
And section 75 in totality was printed and placed at the dais for your information.
Great. Councilmember Center, did you have something
Yeah,
on
thank
this
you.
item?
So I had something on both items. Obviously, they're related. Following up on what Councilmember Tapia just asked about section 75, does the definition of bicycles for use on the Skokie Valley Path and McClory include the newly defined term low-speed electric vehicles? Is that the intent?
Well, the definition of bicycles, like those provisions, has been kind of hiding there in Chapter 75. And when the city council, working with staff in our office, did your prior amendments on e-bikes, this wasn't on anyone's conscience, there's a separate definition of bicycles in Chapter 75. Out of an abundance of caution, because it's not been updated to contemplate e-bikes, that definition in Chapter 75 refers to bicycles propelled by human power. Well, as we've all learned, some of these e-bikes really don't need much human power, if any at all. And so out of an abundance of caution, we wanted to make sure that the provisions that we're working on in 71.360
Right.
are intended to control over anything that's been hiding in 75.
Okay,
So we can make all those cleanups in 75.
No, that's fine. I guess I'm just trying to make sure that I understand that if item number 4 passes, that the usage of low-speed electric vehicles on pathways includes the Skokie Valley Bike
It
Path.
will.
and
They
McClory.
would.
Okay.
They would. And the ultimate thrust of the revised ordinance under item 4 is that e-bikes would be allowed to be ridden anywhere that a bicycle can be ridden, except a sidewalk. That's a distinction, and except in places where the city manager, through her authority, has posted no e-bikes. And that's a carryover from the prior code.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
If I may, just
Oh,
while
yeah,
we're still on that,
thanks,
so just as a reminder, the Skokie Valley Trail is owned by Lake County. So,
So their jurisdiction.
Yeah.
yeah, they've got jurisdiction. So again, we'll review section 75 to make sure it's cleaned up, but just want to put that on the record.
Okay, thank you. On the fee piece,
We're not talking.
we're not talking about that one yet. Okay, then one more comment. I guess overarching comment, I would just, sort of echo what I've heard a little bit already, which is appreciate the collaboration here. And I think what's in front of us is a very well-constructed, common sense, inclusionary approach that also prioritizes safety to the best of its ability. So I think we really found a great happy medium here with what we're proposing here.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you. Councilmember Bloomberg?
Thank you.
I appreciate all the comments that have been made. Councilmember Littlewer, I'm sympathetic to your feeling about the Green Bay Trail, and while we were debating this, I expressed my preference not to have powered vehicles on the Green Bay Trail, but we do have bicycles on the Green Bay Trail. And we're not debating whether that's appropriate or not. I have a somewhat different vision of how the trail ought to be used. That's probably more consistent with yours. That being said, I have been persuaded by the policy as my colleagues have expressed it, and the fact that the Green Bay Trail connects to other municipalities where bicycles continue to be allowed as well. So given that, I really can't, in good conscience, vote to prohibit electrically powered cycles such as are currently under the proposed ordinance allowed, because we do allow bicycles. And the comparison seems appropriate to me, and I think a very good case has been made for that. So with that in mind, I'm actually going to vote in favor of it, but I understand the concerns about that, and we'll see how it plays out.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Ross?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I've really struggled with this one because I am concerned about the safety of everyone, pedestrians, but, just safety in general on Green Bay Trail. But I think, I've heard arguments on both side of this. I know, people, myself included, but people who are concerned about the safety, people who also feel that they depend on being able to use their e-bike on the trail. And I'm also aware, and I do want to echo what Councilmember Bloomberg said about Councilmember Littlewer. I appreciate your advocacy and concern about this. I remain concerned about it. I think I'm, going to support this. I guess I was made aware that the state assembly is taking this up in terms of requiring you to have a driver's license. I believe that is what.
I just think they're looking at it to have consistent laws.
Consistent
throughout
laws.
municipalities. I wouldn't ascribe any decisions yet. To them.
Right, well, they haven't met yet to discuss,
about
to discuss it, but at some point they will. And my question is, I would be very interested in being consistent with the state once they've taken a look at it. I feel like this is an evolving, thank you, evolving area, evolving landscape. And as I said, when we first started discussing this, none of us are truly experts on this. And I'd love to see consistency, obviously, across the state. And I would, whenever it is that they take it up, I'd like to consider whatever they decide, and for the sake of consistency. And I'm not sure that it's practical to be looking at this, in a year, but I want to keep an eye on this and know what the accident reports are around this. I don't want to take our eye off that ball, so to speak.
Absolutely. There's actually a working group that has convened consisting of managers, law enforcement professionals, attorneys and actually we had our first meeting this morning. And so we're collecting all the approved ordinances that municipalities have adopted. We're doing a matrix just to identify what have people approved relating to all different facets of these regulations. So that's the first step, and then we're going to be diving into the policy considerations and making a recommendation to state officials as it pertains to legislation. So definitely we're going to be in the thick of it, involved as part of that working group.
I would assume for a few years we'll be looking at this.
I don't know that it's a few years. Is that through the Northwest Municipal Conference, or is that through a different group?
It's all the cogs working together. So Northwest has taken the lead on it, but there's DuPage mayors and managers, South Suburban's also included.
Right, so councils of government are collaborations, bless
Bless
you,
you.
of municipalities. We belong to the Northwest Municipal Conference, which is 43 municipalities representing 1.8 million people. We all are pooling, to the city manager's point, what we have been talking about, and even during veto session, we were in contact with the Speaker of the House. Highland Park shared our previous ordinance that we had passed with him and urged them to say, we need to do something consistent throughout the state, because bicyclists don't just stay in one municipality going in circles. So to that end, and I appreciate hearing from the city manager, these are all different councils of government who represent the Northern Illinois region, who are in conversation with the legislators at the state level. And then the state law will preempt any local law that is passed. So we are absolutely in touch with them.
And I guess for the sake of those who are concerned about safety, we will continue to pay close attention to this
As we
issue.
always do, you bet. Okay, any further discussion? Councilmember Brookman and then Councilmember Tapia.
Thank you. I just want to echo, I'm happy and comfortable with how this ordinance is now that we have in front of us. I know we're going to continue to do the, education and enforcement, and safety is still our number one priority for all ages, as well as putting signage up so people are very well aware of the different, what we have in terms of speed limit, and just people know where they can and can't go on their e-bikes. Also, I do appreciate that we changed the no driver's license requirement, as I know there are many people out there that are over 16 and can't get a driver's license for whatever reason that may be. So I'm happy to see that change in here as well. So thank you.
Thanks for mentioning that. Councilmember Tapia?
Yeah, I'm also supportive. I'm happy about the quality of the process, and really, the opportunity to do a field trip and kind of check out for ourselves, the difference, which, it's a fast evolving industry. So and I think it's a lot of smart thinking here. One thing that is outside of our jurisdiction, but it's more of an intergovernmental collaboration thing that had been suggested last time, about there is a culture and sort of a public education thing, particularly for young people, because that's where some of the biggest number of incidents was. Has there been any progress in that intergovernmental conversations, particularly with school districts, about a role they can play in education?
Yes, absolutely. So what we are going to be doing, assuming the ordinance gets approved, is we're going to be updating our communication and making sure that everything is just really user-friendly and easy to understand in terms of all the different components of the regulations. We will be sharing that with all of our the 2 school districts, the park district, other governments, the library, and so forth. And so we are all communicating the same information, and so it's clear and transparent and so forth. And we're also going to be looking regionally as well. So kind of to the mayor's point, Lake Forest on the north, Glencoe on the south, Deerfield on the west, just making sure that we are all sharing information as we have residents, traverse the different trails through our different communities. And so there will be significant communication, education, and so that's going to continue. We're going to be working on it this winter and certainly continue spring and summer.
Great, thank you.
I have one more question. Assuming we pass the fines and whatnot, I mean, that would take effect immediately. There seemed to be some phase-in over the summer, education, whatever. I mean, we would start fining people right away.
The fee resolution takes effect January 1, 2026.
January 1st, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And
But
then-
the ordinance
snow is
takes effect
coming off.
immediately.
The
The
ordinance-
ordinance takes effect immediately, but the
But the
fee,
fee, okay, the fine would not take
correct.
effect until January. And so we can use this as an opportunity to let people know you will be fined.
Yes, absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
I should clarify. The fees for this section are in the 2026 fee resolution. If there's a violation in the remaining, 5+ weeks of 2025, there is a default in our city code for violations. It would fall that default rate. I don't know exactly if it's an overall default or a Chapter 71 default. It's not that it's not punishable in the rest of 25, but the fees you're discussing for these specific violations will take effect, as the manager said, on January 1.
Great, thank you. With that, I'm seeking a motion to approve item 4 as amended.
Yes, so moved.
Second.
Will the clerk please call the vote?
Councilmember Center?
Aye.
Councilmember Brockman?
Aye.
Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Tapia?
Aye.
Councilmember Littlewer?
No.
Councilmember Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mayor Rotering?
Aye, 6 ayes, 1 nay. Item 4 as amended is approved. Item 6 is a resolution establishing certain annual fees to be charged by the City of Highland Park for the period of January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2026. Councilmember Center.
Thank you. Appreciate the suggested amendment here, specifically related to increased fees for violations related to e-motos. My question is for repeat offenders, right? If we've got an underage child who gets caught and then does it again, right, and is being irresponsible and not following this, what does that look like on a second violation?
That's a great question. So for e-motos, again, the fine for 26 is not less than 1,000. So generally, the case goes to administrative hearing, and then we work with our prosecutor, who's Elrod Friedman, is the law firm. And so generally, a first offense would probably be $1,000. If there's a subsequent offense, it would be greater than that. And it's going to be based on the circumstances of the case.
Okay.
Yeah, and very similar to the range. So when we have a range of 100 to 500 for all other sections, all other parts of Section 71, we generally start at the minimum, and then, or depending on the circumstances, we would increase it from there.
But it's not as if we need to specifically define sort of what that looks like.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments or questions on 6? With that, I'm seeking a motion to approve item 6.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions from the public? Hearing none, will the clerk call the vote, please?
Councilmember Center?
Aye.
Councilmember Brockman?
Aye.
Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Tapia?
Aye.
Councilmember Littlewer?
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mayor Rotering?
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays. Item 6 is approved. Before we continue with our other business, I just wanted to make a comment regarding item 5, which was approval of the 2026 fiscal year budget. I just want to say thank you to the city manager. Thank you to our finance director, Christy McCullough. Thank you to our senior staff for an excellent, robust, and balanced budget with revenues in excess of expenses. This is a $131 million budget with 274 full-time equivalents, which are employees, and a capital improvement plan of $40 million. That's an investment in our infrastructure, the future of our city's safety, health, and welfare. This budget focuses on our priorities, which are fiscal stability and public safety. It addresses infrastructure investment and business development and sustainability and community vibrancy. This budget meets this moment, and it plans for the future, and it comprehensively supports our mission, which is providing high-quality municipal services in an efficient and fiscally responsible manner through effective, transparent, collaborative, and inclusive governance. With a lot of external volatility, this is a thoughtful budget. It's reflective of our values and our promises to the people of Highland Park. And I just want to say to everybody up here and everybody out there who worked on this budget, thank you. It's something to be super proud of. If you need a copy, it's available online. I highly recommend it. It's a great read because a budget always reflects the priorities of the council, and this does a nice job of showing what really matters to our community. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who put in those long hours throughout the summer and beyond to get that together. And so with that, we're going to move on to other business, item A, which is a public hearing related to providing for the levy of taxes for the city of Highland Park, a home rule municipality, county of Lake, state of Illinois, for tax year 2025 and collected in fiscal year 2026 pursuant to Chapter 6 of the Illinois Compiled Statutes and Chapter 31 of the Highland Park Code. I hereby call to order the public hearing on the proposed tax year 2025 property tax levy. Pursuant to statute and ordinance, notice of this public hearing was published November 13th, 2025 in the Highland Park News. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Center?
Present.
Councilmember Brockman?
Here.
Councilmember Ross?
Here.
Councilmember Tapia?
Here.
Councilmember Littlewer?
Here.
Councilmember Bloomberg? Mayor Rotering?
Here, I declare the public hearing on the proposed tax year 2025 property tax levy open. I will now turn the public hearing over to Finance Director Christy McCullough for opening comments on the proposed levy.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. Tonight, I am going to present the public hearing for the proposed 2025 tax levy. At the last council meeting held on November 10th, I presented the public hearing for the 2026 proposed budget, which did include tax levy information that I will go over tonight. Just as a reminder, all of the budget presentations, the public hearing presentations, and the proposed budget will be available, and some are already on the city's website. Okay, here we go. The city and the library, our portions of a resident's tax bill are 7.7 cents and 2.5 cents per dollar respectively. The largest portion of the city's share of the property tax bill pays for public safety expenditures. According to the Truth in Taxation Law, a municipality is required to hold a public hearing when a proposed tax levy is greater than 5% higher versus the prior year's extended levy. The proposed combined city and library levy for 2025 is budgeted to be 8.3% higher than the 2024 combined tax extension. This includes a city levy of $19.8 million, which is 7.9% higher than the 2024 tax extension, and a library levy of $6.4 million, which is 9.5% higher than the 2024 tax extension. The tax levy includes $21 million for the combined city and library aggregate levy and $5.4 million for the combined debt service levy. The increase is heavily driven by debt service levy. This has to do with the timing of debt payments on previously issued debt and as well as the new debt that the city is planning on issuing in 2026. The tax levy results in a total combined increase of approximately $138 impact to a city taxpayer based on an average of a $500,000 EAV property value. So the next steps we have are that City Council will consider the 2025 tax levy at the final meeting of the year, December 15th. And this concludes the presentation for the public hearing on the tax levy.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions or comments from the City Council? Nope. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? Okay, I'll now entertain a motion to close this public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Will the clerk call the roll?
Councilmember Center?
Aye.
Councilmember Brockman?
Aye.
Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Tapia?
Aye.
Councilmember Littleworth?
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mayor Rowland?
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays. With this roll call vote, the public hearing is now closed. Thank you. Individuals who are unable to attend this evening's public hearing may submit written comments to the attention of the City Finance Director. The City Council will consider an ordinance adopting the proposed tax year 2025 property tax levy and related items at the December 15th, 2025 City Council meeting. I'm now seeking a motion to go into closed session for purposes of personnel.
Mayor, I move to go into closed session to discuss personnel and I think purchase or lease of property as well.
Just personnel.
Just personnel.
Just personnel pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C1.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the vote?
Councilmember Center?
Aye.
Councilmember Brockman?
Aye.
Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Tapia?
Aye.
Councilmember Littleworth?
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mayor Rowland?
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays. We will now go into closed session. Thanks, everybody.